Morning, Ebba. What are you doing up so early?
I couldn't sleep.
Despite the fact that actors and actresses, who in the days of golden Hollywood were almost more popular than the first heads of state, were in the public eye, many aspects of their lives were hidden from the public. And if the details of heterosexual romances of movie stars was accepted to discuss and even enjoy, the homosexual actors often hid their private lives. In our new video, we tell the story of how Hollywood stars had to lead double lives in the last century, where sometimes there was no room for tolerance.
Maybe you'd like to see mine.
Number 13, Anthony Perkins. Famous for his role as Norman Bates in Psycho, Anthony Perkins was a model family man. He was married to photographer Barry Berenson, with whom they had 2 sons. Before his relationship with her, however, he had several affairs with men, including actors Rock Hudson and Tab Hunter, and ballet dancer Rudolf Nureyev. Perkins died of AIDS. Number 12, James Dean. Although James Dean's film career was short, the actor died in a car accident at the age of 24. He is considered one of the most popular Hollywood actors of all time. Dean is a kind of symbol of a generation. During the heyday of Dean's career, rumors about his sexual orientation appeared with enviable regularity. Many believed that the actor himself was not averse to discussing it in public. An extra PR, it was only to his benefit. Dean himself was ambiguous about his orientation. In order to get out of the army, at that time in the US, homosexuality was considered a mental disorder. Dean said that he was gay, but later the actor denied that he was attracted to the opposite sex. In 1975, 20 years after the actor's death, his close friend Jonathan Gilmour published a book, The Real James Dean, in which he claimed that he and Dean had an intimate relationship. He was also rumored to have had an affair with Marlon Brando. They were a couple. Of course, fidelity was out of the question. Jimmy was head over heels in love with Marlon. I can't say the same about Brando. I think Brando was in love with Brando, wrote composer Alec Wilder. Dean's other rumored lovers were Steve McQueen and Walt Disney. Number 11, Marlon Brando. 2-time Oscar winner Marlon Brando is considered one of the greatest actors of all time, and undoubtedly a sex symbol of Hollywood. His private life was not shrouded in mystery. The actor was married 3 times, and how many of his novels were novels with famous beauties, no secret. Nevertheless, there were rumors that Brando liked not only women. It was even said that he had a relationship with James Dean, and the American writer Darwin Porter, in his biography of the actor Brando Unzipped, claimed that the star of The Godfather was intimate with Carrie Grant, Montgomery Clift, and Sir John Gielgud. Brando himself said the following in a 1976 interview with a French journalist: "Homosexuality has become so fashionable that it is no longer news. Like many men, I have had homosexual experiences, and I am not ashamed of it," he said. Number 10, Marilyn Monroe. She managed to win the hearts of millions of men all over the world. What can we say? Even US President John F. Kennedy and his brother Robert could not resist her charms. Marilyn Monroe is now considered one of the most important Hollywood sex symbols of all time, and one of the most beautiful and attractive women in the world. The star's personal life was very turbulent. She was married 3 times and also dated many famous men. Nevertheless, there were rumors in Hollywood that Monroe had same-sex relationships, not only with colleagues. She was said to have had one with Joan Crawford and Marlene Dietrich, but also with her fans. Number 9, Katherine Hepburn. Katherine Hepburn is one of Hollywood's most famous actresses. During her 60-year film career, she won 4 Academy Awards. In 1999, she was named the greatest actress in Hollywood history by the American Film Institute. Hepburn was married only once, to businessman Ludlow Ogden Smith, for 6 years. Curiously, she never dreamed of motherhood, saying she was too selfish. Her most famous romance was with fellow actor Spencer Tracy, which lasted 27 years. He was married, by the way. However, despite the fact that Hepburn, according to close friends, seemed to be in love up to his ears and was with him until his death, many did not believe in the sincerity of these relationships. Hepburn was a lesbian, and Spencer was gay. Their public affair was the work of the studio. Everybody in Hollywood knew, but I never saw it written about anywhere, says Larry Kramer, a prominent gay activist. Number 8, Spencer Tracy. Spencer Tracy, for 40 years of work in the film, was nominated for an Oscar 9 times, and twice he managed to win. During his life, the actor married only once. In marriage with Louise Treadwell, who gave him 2 sons, he lived until his death. However, marriage and the promise to remain faithful to his wife was not an obstacle to his relationship with Katherine Hepburn, with whom they starred in several famous films. In Hollywood, Tracy fixed the fame of a real womanizer. He attributed novels with Ingrid Bergman, Hedy Lamarr, and other famous actresses. However, there were rumors and that Spencer had a long relationship with actor John Derek. And in the 30s and 40s, he often stayed for a few days at the home of director George Cukor, who was gay. Number 7, Greta Garbo. Greta Garbo, who decided to end her career at the age of 36, is considered one of Hollywood's greatest actresses, having appeared in several dozen films in a very short time by acting standards. After her career ended, Garbo spent the remaining years of her life in complete seclusion. She never married and had no children. While working in Hollywood, she met her colleague, the famous actor John Gilbert, whom she even wanted to marry, but eventually changed her mind. Despite the fact that Garbo's personal life never advertised, in Hollywood knew everything about her bisexuality. The star, according to rumors, had affairs with representatives of creative professions: actresses, writers, photographers. Number 6, Montgomery Clift. Unlike most of his friends and colleagues, this famously handsome and heartthrob did not live in Los Angeles, but in New York, which worked to his advantage. His name almost never appeared in scandalous publications, and his private life remained truly private. Still, all secrets eventually come out. Hollywood insiders insisted on the actor's bisexuality. He was attributed to the novel with Elizabeth Taylor, but at the same time, they talked about his sympathy for men. Number 5, Clark Gable. Clark Gable was so famous at the height of his career that he was even called the King of Hollywood. The star of Gone with the Wind won an Academy Award for his romantic comedy, It Happened One Night. The actor was married 5 times and fathered 2 children. He was a famous ladies' man and never missed an opportunity to crush the head of another Hollywood starlet. However, there were rumors that Gable slept with men. True, he did it for selfish reasons, to further his career. Number 4, Barbara Stanwyck. Barbara Stanwyck was one of Hollywood's most ambitious actresses, appearing in nearly 85 films during her 60-year career, receiving 4 Academy Award nominations and winning 1. Stanwyck was married twice. Because of an abortion she had at the age of 15, she was unable to have children, so she and her first husband, Frank Fay, adopted a 10-month-old baby, whom they named Anthony Dion. Everyone in Hollywood knew about Stanwyck's homosexuality, although she never announced it publicly. It was a kind of secret polichinelle. Actor Clifton Webb called her his favorite Hollywood lesbian, and her biographer Axel Madsen put it this way: "You could have sworn she was the most famous closeted lesbian in Hollywood," he wrote. Number 3, Carrie Grant. Carrie Grant was married 5 times. His third wife, Diane Cannon, gave him a daughter. However, his sexual preferences were always a topic of discussion in Hollywood. He lived for many years with actor Randolph Scott, whom he met on the set of Hot Saturday in 1932. The actors settled in a mansion in the Los Feliz district of Los Angeles, where they lived together for 12 years. It is said that they were more than just friends. Number 2, Joan Crawford. According to the American Film Institute, Joan Crawford is one of the 10 greatest American actresses. The star was married 4 times. 3 of her husbands were rumored to be gay and adopted 5 children. She had a large number of lovers, with her most famous affair being her relationship with Clark Gable. For years, rumors circulated in Hollywood about Crawford's passionate nature and her insatiable appetite for relationships with both men and women. This was detailed in her biography, Joan Crawford, Hollywood Martyr, by author David Brett. Number 1, Rock Hudson. Oscar-winning actor Rock Hudson died of AIDS in 1985 at the age of 59. Before doctors confirmed his devastating diagnosis, the actor had carefully hidden his lifestyle throughout his career. But Hollywood insiders always knew he was gay, despite his 3-year marriage to Phyllis Gates, who was rumored to be a lesbian. Hudson carefully maintained the image of a heterosexual, and even after his divorce from his wife, he went out with one companion or another, and the actress Marilyn Maxwell, he even wanted to marry. His affair with Mark Christian, he is not really in hid. It seems that everyone knew about it. By the way, about his diagnosis, Hudson did not tell his lover, and that miraculously managed not to be infected. For the risk of being infected, by the way, after the death of Hudson sued his heirs for $14.5 million. Of course, these are not all famous actors who led a double life. If we take at least European cinema, the list would be much longer. Jean Marais, Laurence Olivier, and others. Now, of course, the situation has changed a lot. Stars openly declare their unconventional orientation, go out with their partners, and are not afraid of being misunderstood. Of course, it is difficult to predict what Hollywood will look like in 50 years, but it seems that stars will be camming out more and more often. That's all for today, folks. Thanks for watching. See you soon.